Just for a little introduction for those who weren't with us the last two times I was with you. Switzerland is also a small country, and like Austria, we have around 8 million inhabitants. And what is special, you already see it, how you write it, we call ourselves Self-Help Switzerland, Info Entraide Suisse, Autajutto Svizzera. We have those 3 languages, and this is for a national umbrella organization like we are, always a big challenge.
3 languages, and we get to speak in English.
Yeah, you would that, yeah. But it's better, because in Italian, I don't speak Italian. I could do it in Spanish, but not in Italian. Where do I? Here? No. I'm sorry. Oh, here, I can use it? Good. Okay. So, here you have the map of Switzerland, and I tell you a little bit about the self-help movement in Switzerland. The red spots you see, first we have 26 cantons or province or department, we call them canton. And the part here, red, this here? Okay. This, like the western part, they all speak French. Also in Valais, they speak a little part of French. And this canton is Ticino, which talks Italian. We remember the last time in Florence was Marilou with us. Marilou from Lugano. And the rest, all this is German. And in Grisons, Graubünden, we actually have the 4th language, Radromanche, which is also a national language, but as a really minority. So about the numbers, I told you last time in Florence that we have, as we are the umbrella organization, we constructed a new website, and with this new website, together with all the clearing houses, we put all the self-help groups which are known in the clearing houses on our homepage. So we can, if somebody is interested to find a group for depression or alcohol or being alone or whatever, they can put the theme in the searching machine and they find the group in their region. Those 2027 self-help groups are those groups which are known, which we know, and we think there are a lot more groups which are not really, not as many, but there are more groups which are not connected with the self-help, with the clearinghouses. Those 2,000 self-help groups are like, we have this definition, they are like the informal self-help groups, not guided, not therapeutically guided or guided by a facilitator. We know about 300 guided self-help groups. Those are groups which are not therapeutic, is that it? They are groups with somebody like this, like you told about example about this psychologist who has a problem. He is affected with this problem as well, but he has more knowledge and he guides the group a little. We know now in our homepage as well, we know that the self-help individual space is growing. And we know we have now 44 forums online on our page. To get on our page, on our internet page, they have to accomplish some criteria, otherwise they wouldn't be on our homepage. And that's interesting because the online forums are like the self-help groups, they have different issues, different themes, even it might be somatically or social problems or mental problems. Then, like in the map, you see we have now, I was telling yesterday, 19 self-help clearing houses, but we are actually 20 because there's a new one coming up in the French part of Switzerland, in Jura. And this is now, right now, starting. Those 20 self-help clearinghouses, they are really in different structures. There are some very big ones, like 3, we have really big ones in Zurich, Bern and Basel, who have like 8 or 6 or 8 professional part-time working. And then we have other ones like Antonis, who's from Zurich, rural part of Zurich, who only work 2-person part-time. The self-help clearinghouses, they are independent. They have their own organization. They are not dependent on us. We are a self-help organization, a self-help umbrella. We are the centralizing all those self-help clearinghouses, and we are here because the self-help clearinghouses, they wanted to have a national organization which helps a little bit to get all these different cantons, these different structures together, and also for the, I don't know how to say it, the Schnittstelle, how you say that word in English? We are the connection between the government, federal, and the locals. Then we know we have many self-help organizations. That's interesting. We know now about that we have 170 self-help organizations, probably there are more. The self-help organization in Switzerland, a lot of them, they were founded by self-help groups. Like, for example, in the AIDS movement in the 80s, it started with some gay people talking on the phone and helping other infected by HIV. And then slowly they built up an organization, local, and then we had a national, now we have a national organization as well. Or one other one, the self-help organization for lung diseases, is also one which started like 50 or 60 years ago from a self-help group, and now it's one of the biggest health organizations. So many of those self-help organizations, they actually call themselves self-help organizations, and they have groups. They also have self-help groups, like in Germany. A part of those 2,000 self-help groups, they are belonging to the self-help organization. But a lot of those self-help organizations, they don't get along anymore with those self-help groups. They missing the resources to support them. It's not as important anymore. The big organization, it's more important to lobbying for the sickness or to found money for their research, for getting more rights as a patient. But for the really basic people concerned by their diseases, they don't put the force to support them as much anymore. Well, this one, the definition of self-help, it's a little bit changing in the last years, also because of Germany, as they are our big mother, like I said yesterday. I wrote here, and I have the copies for you. It's not the definition of self-help groups, which I put here now. It's the definition of self-help. And before, when I started 5 years ago, we were only talking about self-help groups, but now it's like getting more and more with these online forums and peer supporters. So we're actually changing the word a little bit to the community self-help. So we include also other movements than only self-help groups. But always on the same common concern. The trend and the changes from the last meeting we had in Florence to today. One big thing is that we try very hard the sensitization about community self-help. This is our really one big work what we have to do with the Self-Help Switzerland. We try to get more knowledge about self-help in the public authorities and politicians. This we have to do because it's about 3 years ago the Parliament was thinking about make a new law. It was called the Prevention Care, but then it failed. It didn't came through the whole Parliament. And so we still go on that self-help is not, it doesn't have the acknowledgement in the government, in the political. And so we have to try to talk with them now about the sensibility to talk about, with self-help. Oh, the thing is, for example, in the public authorities, that self-help in Switzerland, we are founded a little bit by the government, by the federal government, but from the Department of Health Insurances, Social Insurances. We have different departments, and one is called Social Insurances, and from there we get the money. And we get the money because we have to support invalids, handicaps to integrate. So that is one part of our self-help movement, but only one part. And we try to get in another department, this is called the Department of Health. But there it's really hard to get in, because if you want to have support from the health department, health ministry, we need the law. And only with the law, this department gives support and money. And that we don't have yet, that is law. The other thing I was telling you about, that in the self-help organization, like I told you before, that the self-help organization, they call themselves self-help, but they don't really take care of the self-help groups. We started a new partnership project with the bigger self-help organization that they reinforce their work with the self-help groups. And the first thing was to do with them is that they know what is self-help. That was really funny. We started to explain them again what is self-help, and we aimed that we have the same vision for the self-help groups. And so together with those big self-help organizations, we made this new paper, how to promote community self-help in the organization. And this is a paper, I made some copies from you, which helps now the big organization, maybe, for example, if they want to put the word self-help in their statutes or so, how to define the self-help. And also together with this self-help organization, we're going to do this year a really big journey, a really big, a day where we invite everybody about self-help. Another trend we're trying to go on and changes is that we try to give self-help a face. We started like with brochures and flyers where we have people from self-help groups giving their face that they aren't self-help groups. And there are other projects giving this. One project we are heading to now is to develop a national day of self-help. And this we do with the clearinghouses together. So we think about, we are now building this up. We think about that in next May, we're going to have one day in Switzerland, all the clearinghouses do some action on the streets, or with the public, and with the self-help groups, and with self-help organization. And for this, actually, we were trying to find a little bit out from you, if you have this in your country as well, or if you have other ideas how to promote self-help in the community. I had a little list, so if you're interested to help us with ideas how we can promote self-help on the street, or if you want to have information, you just sign there. How much time do you have left? Okay. Then the numbers of group. The numbers of group, they are growing. They're growing really big. It's in somatic issue. It was growing the last 10 years as well. Or was it? Is it 10 years? No, 2 years. Last 2 years. Physics issues is growing even more, and social issues is growing a lot as well. The interesting thing is that if you take it as a cake, that especially in physics issues, it's growing a lot. This one I heard in the last couple inputs that a lot of us, we are realizing that there's a trend, which I will talk this afternoon a little bit with you, about self-help goes to self-management. In the government, for example, they don't use the word self-help, but they use the word self-management all the time. And self-management is really something new, forcing the people to get good, be powerful. And, well, I will talk about this afternoon a little bit. Okay, that's already it. Yeah. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Sorry.
So who wants to question Karen?
I have a copy of this presentation already.
I have a question.
Carmen, could you be so kind to explain the difference between self-help groups and community self-help to me?
And community self-help group. No, if I difference between
You were using the term community self-help.
No, the thing is, the community self-help includes self-help groups, but it also includes the self-help on the virtual space, for example. Because we do have more and more coming up, people who exchange their experience on the laptop, and they don't even see each other face to face anymore. And this is why we talk now, not only when we go out and talk about self-help, we are including this trend as well. So it's not really a difference between community self-help group and this one.
Oh, thank you for the chocolate. It was really delicate. You said at the beginning that you were collecting all the groups at your homepage on the national.
Yeah.
Are you doing it, or is it self,
No, that's the thing. As the clearing, I couldn't explain everything. The clearinghouses, they are connected with us, those 1920 clearinghouses, with a contract. They get a little bit money from the government through us. And one of our deal is we have this homepage, and each clearinghouse has the entrance of this page, and they can put in the groups. So it's not us to put in those 2,000 groups and have to change them. So it's the clearinghouses who always actualize them, and if one is a new one or if one is died, or
And does it work?
Mm-hmm. It works pretty good. Actually, we do have to look. Sometimes we control from the when was the last changement, and if we see that one clearinghouse didn't actualize maybe 10 months, we ask, hey, isn't there a new group? Like this, yeah.
And secondly, are you delivering the technologies to do the online?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Something you develop yourself, or something just...
No, the thing is, our new homepage is on a CMS Magnolia, which allows, if we give the password or something to the clearinghouses, to manage a certain part of the page. And also, it allows that if a clearinghouse wants to make a new homepage, that they build it up like we do. It's like a huge construction with a lot of rooms, and so each clearinghouse can take one room of the construction. Yeah. can look at it www.selbsthilfeschweiz.ch. There you see.